What's going on, people? I'm your host, Double R, and you're now tuned in to Retro Rob Television. Salute to my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the family. And salute to my original subscribers for always holding your boy down. I really do appreciate that. All right, so there's been a lot of people that have been giving their take, their spill on the whole King Von situation. I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I want my people to come on up in here. Come on up in here so we can talk about it. Yeah, so I was looking at a video with Red Supreme TV, and salute to Red Supreme. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Amazing content, Red Pill, street rap talk. He talk about a lot of things, just life, real life stuff, but one video in particular inspired me. I was just having a conversation with my homeboy when we was looking at and analyzing the whole situation between King Von and the situation that happened with Mo 03. Well, Mo 3, Mo 3. And it's a lot of strange things. And when me and my homeboy, when we watch like movies or when we just watch YouTube videos or whatever, we're analyzing things a lot differently than the average human being. The average human being is just being entertained. We're being entertained in a whole different way, but we're really trying to look for the subliminals, on a spiritual level. You feel me? And I just want to play this piece of Red Supreme's video on King Von in that situation, because one of the callers gave an interesting perspective on what he felt happened. Salute to Shadow. Shadow assassin in the building. Salute to you, brother. Salute to everybody that's gonna come on in. Come on in, people. All right, let's go.
Now, man, let me take it. We got another call, man. Yo.
What up, Red Supreme?
Oh man, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, this is Geraldo Show, man. What's good, man? What's cracking?
Oh man, let us know what's going on out there in NY, brother.
Everything's cool, man. Kind of a little bit warm. They're acting a fool, berating themselves, doing it the lesson. But I know that's not the subject at hand. But let's get to it, man. So this situation, man, I got wind of the same video you got wind of. And just talk about a lot of sacrificing going on. And I spoke on a video a little bit earlier about black men being too friendly in a circle of groups. We have to be mindful that when you become successful or you start seeing things that you haven't had before, not everybody has your best interest in the entertainment world, in the regular world.
And I want to touch on something as well, right? I'm gonna let the brother talk. But black people in general, no particular genre, but black people in general are fake friendly. I'm trying to find the right word for it, the right term for it, but we're fake friendly to one another, but we're real friendly with all the other races. I find it very odd, but let's go.
The socializing world. And looking at that video, the guys knew this was going to happen. It was like a hit or miss, but it was actually a hit this time. And then they try to pin it on the officers to try to start some race war, current event, Black Lives Matter thing.
Now, also too, the dude, I couldn't predict the King Von situation because I didn't really know too much about King Von, and I didn't really know about the Mo3 dude neither, until I seen the interview, and I wanted to break that interview down between Boosie and Mike Tyson. But I kind of could see like the vibe, and I was just looking at Mo3. But I didn't even know that was his name or nothing. I didn't really know who he was, but I just knew that he was with Boosie. I didn't know, the in-depth history of Mo3 like a lot of people do. But you could just kind of tell, like only people that think on this type of level will be able to know what I'm talking about. Like you can kind of tell where certain people are headed by the way that they carry themselves, by the way that they talk, by the way that they look, by the way that they walk. You can kind of tell that, you know, they might not be headed in a too good of a direction. You feel me? And that's the feel that I got with MO3. But Von did a documentary, I believe it was, and I remember it vividly. He was in the building with his boys, and we're gonna get to that in a minute about Von's boys, you know, and guys and their boys in general, you know. He was talking about giving back to the projects and, you know, turning over a whole new lease on life after his big trial, his big case. And he was just talking about bettering himself and his community. Sound familiar, doesn't it? Nipsey Hussle. And we all know what happened to Nipsey Hussle a few years ago. But let's get into it.
That ain't come to fruition because now we know in the video, everybody knew something was going to happen. There's a video I'm going to send to you.
Okay.
That a woman predicted that he was not going to make it past his first or second album. I believe he was on his third album. Well, you can't count the mixtapes. They said that he's not going to make it past his first album.
Wow.
So she saw something that a lot of people thought she was crazy. And she's been well known to observe things. So you got people out here that observe things and see things for what it is. And you talked about being mindful of getting on certain platforms, dealing with certain energies. And so the energy he was around was a bunch of weak men. Even his catalog. It was all ended because he was about to do something in Chicago. From what I was told.
Now, before he get into the gist of what I want to talk about, want to discuss, I was just talking about, and this is what really, that little piece right there, that caller right there is what really inspired me to do this video. Because I wasn't even going to talk about this type of stuff. But when I heard him talk about that, me and my homeboy, we deal with the so-called conspiracies, which really is the white man's truth or the white man's cover up. You know, that's what I call it. But we was just talking about Von and his homeboys. And what do I always say on my channel, people? I said, as smart as Tupac was, as much of a genius you think these celebrities and stuff are, and that they are to a certain extent, they're never smart where it counts. And that's who they surround themselves with. Now, King Von and people of his ilk, they're very horrible at selecting friends. And the thing is, birds of a feather, y'all know the saying, flock together. So if you on that street tip, if you on that thug tip, if you on that gangster tip, if you on that, you know, robbing tip, if you on that just out here causing confusion, vandalizing type tip, you're going to have people around you that what I call share that same pain, that go through the same thing, that is about the same life. You know, and the problem with that is when you're trying to change yourself, when you're trying to turn over a new lease on life and you're trying to be a better version of yourself and ultimately a better person. You can't bring those type of people with that type of, still have that type of mentality with you into places where it's, you know, classy, into classy places. You can't bring a trashy mentality into classy environments. And the people around you, because people always talk about the ops this, the ops that, and they tend to get blinded by the people that they surround themselves with, their homies. They start to build as much jealousy and hatred towards you than your ops, than your actual ops. You got to watch out for the ops, the low-key ops. And it's hard to determine who is the ops in your group or who is the snake in your group. Because a lot of them are very good at hiding it, because a lot of them, you know, a lot of them fake. They fake it till they make it. You feel me? Basically, they fake it until they make it. The Shadow Assassin said, "Bro, you know, I'm with that shit as well. Conspiracy theories is what they call it. I call it seeing the forest behind the trees." Oh, you talking about my stuff? Seeing the forest before the trees? Yeah, foresight. You know, and when I was watching King Von, right, I was like, man, them dudes around him. I don't know him, but I'm like, them dudes around him. If he's planning on like advancing in life and doing better things and becoming a better version of himself, of his current self, he don't. You could do for your homeboys, you could do for them, but keep the ones that you know, or just make just so none of them will get jealous. Just put them on the back burner. Put them on the back burner until you finish taking care of whatever you got to take care of. But see, some dudes would get jealous. Some dudes would feel like, okay, I came with you this far. Now you acting different. Now you acting shady. But again, if a dude feel like that and you haven't shown him you know real example of being shady, then they're the shady one. But see, that's the problem. When it's time for you to cut them type of dudes loose, those would be the ones that'll come after you, kind of like a fatal attraction, dealing with a broad, a fatal attraction, which I believe, and I might do in another video, that King Von actually had with Asian Doll. It was a fatal, definitely a fatal attraction. And most of these dudes act like women anyway. Most of these dudes act feminine anyway. So when you surround yourself with those type of dudes because you was living a certain type of lifestyle when you was around them, when you first met them dudes and y'all came up in that lifestyle, and when you try to switch over into a whole nother lifestyle, it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult. You know, ask Tekashi 6ix9ine. It's very, very difficult to try to transition over and become a better version of yourself and leave that bad toxic life behind when you have a lot of dudes that are still enticed and are still in love with that type of lifestyle. And you're associated with them and you're, you know, their quote unquote bros. You know, you're their brother and stuff like that. But I just wanted to say that, and I'm gonna play the video after this brother finished talking of King Von in the hallway with his homies, talking about bettering the community and stuff like that. But while he was saying that, I don't know those dudes to say this, but I can pretty much, you know, just give my opinion on it. I don't believe those guys were really thinking the same or on the same type of thinking that he was on, as far as like trying to get up out of that lifestyle and create a better lifestyle. Just like we seen with Tekashi and we seen with Shadi and all them. Shadi and them was still on that little boy stuff, you know, get out here, rob and woo, on that ignorant stuff. And Tekashi was more so on, man, I'm about to get this money. I'm about to better my family. Like you could see Tekashi, he was always a guy that, you know, we could say what we want to say about him. He's a snitch. He's a rat. Yes, he is. But he also gave to the homeless. He also gave to the community. Whenever you ever seen Shadi and all these guys, if they wasn't associated with Tekashi, contributing to the community, I'll wait. You know, but I noticed while King Von was talking, the dudes that was associated with him, and again, I don't know their mentality, but they didn't seem like they were on the same type of thinking wave that he was on. You know, and we don't know, and that's the problem with our community, is that if you do or when you do get set up by them boys, not only do they use your own people to do it, but you can't tell which way this stuff came from. You can't tell who it came from. You know, we can speculate, but if you wasn't there, then you don't know. And that's what we do a lot too. We'll take the heat off the original person, or trying to figure out who the original person was that did it, and put it on a whole bunch of other people that may or may not have been involved. Meanwhile, the brains behind the operation, which we all know who that is, you know, the white man, he just gets solved scot-free. And even if you know, the fucked up part about it is we'll jump at each other, but even if you know the white man was the ones that did it, you ain't big and bad enough to jump at them. And they know you not. They can do things out in the open and know that all these fake street gangs and all these fake street thugs and all that stuff ain't got the heart to do it to them. So, but let's continue.
He's from Old Block, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was gonna do some things in Old Block, you know, buy off Old Block. Because if I'm not mistaken, Old Block, you could buy it off for about, I think, close to $1 million.
Whoa.
So
Let's run it back.
Yo.
They said that he's not gonna make it past his first album.
Wow.
So she saw something that a lot of people thought she was crazy. And she's been well known to observe things. So you got people out here that observe things and see things for what it is. And you talked about being mindful of getting on certain platforms, dealing with certain energies. And so the energy he was around was a bunch of weak men. Even his catalog, it was all ended because he was about to do something in Chicago. From what I was told,
he said, you heard him? He said the energy King Von was around was a bunch of weak men. Do we know those men personally? No, we don't. But we all, not all of us, but you know what I'm talking about. Majority of us have experience in the hood, in the ghettos. You know, even the ones that they would call squares. We all have experience in the hood, whether you was really in the field or not. You know, you could tell when you see them ones. You feel me? When you see them ones, y'all know what I'm talking about. Who and what I'm talking about. The ones that ain't trying to do no good. The ones that ain't trying to better themselves or don't want to see nobody else around them do better, but they always faking and always perpetrating like they really want to see you shine. They really want to see you get it. Yeah. Yeah.
He's from Old Block, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was gonna do some things in Old Block, you know, buy off Old Block. Because if I'm not mistaken, Old Block, you could buy it off for about, I think, close to $1 million.
Whoa.
So he was gonna,
damn. That was all they wanted?
He said King Von was about to do some things in his community. Who else? Again, who else was talking about, or who else was actually doing things in his community that got killed out of the blue? Nipsey Hussle, no pun intended, got killed out of the blue. Bars. So let's go to this clip. I want to go to this clip real quick with King Von talking about, let's see if we could get this real quick, of him talking about making change on O Block. King Von, my fault, tripping. I put King on, tripping. I was thinking about Von and O Block at the same time. King Von, I'm tripping. I want to go to this documentary, John, I was watching. I know it when I see it. Yeah, salute to the chat, man. Salute to the chat. He was talking about making change in the ghettos, man. The irony behind it is crazy. Every time he talk about doing change in the hood, somebody always miraculously end up dead. You know, ain't that strange? Okay, it was one of these, but it wasn't this one. Let me go back. It was one of these joints, but it wasn't that one. Where is that? It was one of these, but it wasn't that one. He was talking about making change in his hood. Okay, I think it was this one.
Chromebooks don't.
Hold on, let me get that advertisement out there. All right. He was talking about making change.
New episode of Welcome to My Neighborhood on Silver TV. The term grandson came from when I was in jail. Some old head, he got to calling me grandson and shit. Then he said I be acting how I move and shit. They started calling me grandson, and I've been running with it ever since. You know, I ain't start getting in trouble or nothing to like high school. It's an area where everybody be outside, everybody like whole blocks before the shit. And the area stretched from like what 75th to 83rd, Ashland, like on
When the last time we seen each other?
a minute. Oh, jail. When I just locked out, yeah, of course. Like a regular hood, I was with my homies and shit, all my friends, so we grew up playing, kicking in the shit. Then we got older, still kicking.
Okay, I think this was
like
it.
a little like the family shit. Now I'm trying to help the community. Now I'm trying to get places like this back on.
All right, here we go.
I'm trying to, everybody go up to another notch. I done did all the touch base with like a little like the family shit. Now I'm trying to help the community. Now I'm trying to get places like this back on. Little daycares and shit. Just anything. Generate money and make the community better and shit.
You heard that?
I got a lot of friends, but
You heard that? He said he trying to generate money and make the communities and stuff better. Nipsey Hussle was saying the same thing. And you seen what happened to him. You feel me? But we're being used as pawns. We're being used as pawns. And people always talk about, oh, we could start a black own this and a black own that. How? When we don't give a damn about our black own. How we gonna start a black own when we don't give a damn about our own? Come on now. We don't care about each other. How we gonna start a black own when there's always a black motherfucker that's able to be bought? To try to call themselves getting to it. Jay-Z said something in one of the songs. I think it was the joint that him and Beyonce did. And he was saying dudes basically that black people won't sign to him just to, they'll sign to the white man to pretend like they on the same level as him. Like, this is what we do. Fake it till we make it. Sell each other out, throw each other under the bus, kill each other just to say we made it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's sad, man. It's sad. But let's go ahead.
Now my auntie next to line, now you see what I'm saying? And then my friends, and and I got.
And also, I wanted to play, I might do that next, play the No Jumper podcast. I was watching it, but I couldn't put the name with the face. I remember seeing that No Jumper podcast, the interview with King Von, but I don't even really watch this stuff. I don't even listen to this music. But because there's a lot of people that want to know about it, and I'm inspired because of it's just a pattern. I do pattern watching, subliminal watching and listening, where it's just like this guy talk about starting up a business and then he end up killed. This person to talk about giving back to the community, uplifting the community. And then we know none of the celebrities are able to actually go into the black communities and physically be hands-on, or they will end up dead as well. You feel me? Allegedly. But it's just crazy when you see a pattern like this. Nipsey was talking about the Dr. Seppi thing. Nipsey was talking about and actually putting the footwork in his communities. And he ended up dead in the community by his own people. This young boy. But see, here's the thing with Von, right? Von made a terrible mistake of coming out of that nightclub. All of that stuff was set up. And if I had to bet my money on it, and this is all alleged, by the way, if I had to bet my money on it, it was an inside job. Somebody probably coerced him. They had to, because they said he was driving and they was like, oh yeah, hey, Rondo is at such and such in Atlanta. And he was like, oh yeah. And he spent that joint back around and he went there to go link up with Rondo over, people say, what's her name? China doll or whatever, an Asian doll, whatever. The link up off of that. And He charged after Rondo, started putting the beats on him, and he got hit. He got blindsided. Sound kind of fishy though, don't it? Sound real fishy. Sound real fishy. And then the shooter was precise. He knew where he wanted to go with it. Almost kind of like the situation with Eric Holder with Nipsey. It's just patterns. Like I watch patterns and stuff like that. A lot of people they don't really look for those signs like that. They just look at the situations on the surface. Like I look beneath the surface. But it's just crazy how that happened to Nipsey when Nipsey was talking about, helping his communities and stuff like that, and actually helping his communities and stuff like that. And then that happened to him. And then he talk about helping his communities, and then that happened to him.
I got kids, man. You see what I'm saying? So it never stopped. Like the giving this shit and help you, it don't stop. You just gotta keep getting more money. As long as you got money.
Like, and no disrespect to these dudes, because I don't know them, but look at it. Look at that crew. Does that look like a crew that's trying to level up? I ain't talking about street level up. I'm talking about level up in the corporate world. Do it look like you can take these guys in the corporate world? I just want to know, people. Does it look like you could take these brothers into the corporate world and really flourish and really do all of the things that King Von is talking about doing? I don't think so. D Block in the building. He said, Double R, salute. I got to run this joint back. Yeah, run this joint back, man. Salute to all my people that's up in here. But just look at this, man. This is what I grew up around. Dudes like this. I had to maneuver. I used to tell the dudes, man, nah, I'm not taking that old lady purse. Nah, I'm not going to do that because you want me to do it. I don't want to do it. And if you whoop my ass or I whoop yours and it go there, then it's going to have to go there. But you ain't about to force me to do nothing. But a lot of people ain't got that type of heart. See, a lot of people will hang around, laugh at dudes, corny jokes, will do what dudes tell them to do because low key, they scared of becoming a target. Not saying this is King Von case because, from what I see, King Von knew how to handle his own. But again, just like I said about the Tupac situation with Suge Knight, the Biggie situation with Puffy, those as much of a genius and as exceptional of a talent they weren't smart where it really matters. This is where it really matters. Right here, people. Right here. This is where it really counts. Who you associate yourselves with. This way it counts. Reading the signs, reading the patterns of people. People always talk about, I'm a strategist. I know how to read signs. I know how to read this and read that. But when it boils down to it, how are you consistently getting yourselves into situations or putting yourselves in the harm's way and you know how to read people? You know how to read the signs. I specialize in that shit. I specialize in reading people. I'm doing it now as we speak. But I ain't got, I have been in certain situations. Certain situations you just not won't be able to prevent, especially when you ain't really, in a financial, you're not financially stable. I am now, but you got to deal with certain situations. You got to live in certain households that you don't want to live in. You got to be around certain communities that you don't want to be in. But look at that. Look at that. Does it look like you can take these guys into the corporate world? But I tell you what it does look like. It looked like eventually, if these guys don't get all of what King Von promised to them, they can be potential suspects. They can all turn on them at any moment. But I can guarantee you each and every last one, because we're in the hood. We're in the hood. I'm not anymore, but I was. We're in the hood. We trying to get out. Everybody trying to get out. And no man don't like that. If you a real man, no man likes to be up under another man wing. But if you in that situation, you got to make the best of your situation. And making the best of your situation is not, oh, this nigga think he better than me. It's not, oh, when I get a chance, I'm gonna show him. Especially and particularly not the one that helped get you out of that situation, because he could have left your ass in the gutter. Let's continue. But I was saying that to say this. Black people always talk about white people and point out the white man and point out the white supremacists, the racists, like they're the issue, and they are the issue. They're the reason for your circumstance. But you have a lot of your own people, particularly in your circle, that are just as responsible as the ones that, as your oppressor, as the ones that put you in that situation. And that's what the man do. He leave us to fight for his crumbs. And everybody is in survival mode, survival of the fittest. That's not how you handle situations, man. I have a motto like, and I tell my homeboy this all the time. I have a motto like, I keep the ones that's been with me and that rock with me the long way, as we say here. I keep them dudes close. I reward those dudes. I reward my wife for being submissive. I reward my homeboys for always keeping it real. Well, homeboy, for keeping it real, for being genuine, for dealing with me because of me, kicking it and having conversations, deep conversations with me because of me, because he fucked with me and not what I got to offer. But see, a lot of these guys, man, they're looking for a way out. I was watching an interview with Dame Dash, and he was talking about Rockefeller and Cam and all of them. And he was talking about, I was thinking about we, they was thinking about me. Saying that to say this, and I know a lot of y'all gonna say, well, what do they got to do with the topic? Saying that to say this, right? Don't always just look at the, what's obvious. Don't always look at what's obvious, because it's easy to say, well, the white man did this or his ops did that. Sometimes it's within your circle. And as Hassan Campbell would say, salute to Hassan Campbell. Go subscribe to him. Watch out for your circle because they'll hurt you. That's real shit. Let's continue.
No problem. You see what I'm saying? I just got to keep having money. So yeah, a lot of people about my past.
And I don't want to keep pausing, but this is the video, this is the content. And you also got to ask yourselves, regardless of how you feel and whether them dudes had guns and stuff like that, because I hear a lot of people saying, well, King Von men, they didn't really have guns. What else did you expect them to do when they retreated? I expected them to be gangsters. I expected them to step up to the plate. Because, and this is another thing I want to ask. We seen what happened with Nipsey. We seen what happened to MO3. What is the purpose of having goons and shit around you? What's the purpose? What is the purpose of having hitters around you? When the hitters is getting hit, when the hitters ain't doing shit, what's the purpose? Niggas can say whatever they want to say, but what is the purpose of having hitters when they the ones getting hit? When they the ones that's retreating? When they the ones that ain't prepared? So, I get it. So y'all here to watch me make money. Y'all here to watch me run the show. But see, these will be the main motherfuckers that'll sit back and want to watch you run a show that's going to expect to get what you get. That's going to expect to have what you got. We don't make sense, man. We got to start making sense about these scenarios, people. Those will be the same of, man, he ain't even pay me. These will be the same bloggers that'll be like, oh, you got to pay your wolves. Pay my wolves for what? To sit back and watch me get killed? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. I was just talking to my man about that. I said, what is they paying these dudes for? Y'all know that saying I could do bad all by myself. If that's what it's gonna be, then get the fuck away from me. Get away from me. Let's go.
They might, I already jumped to the conclusion gonna be an ass or mean or over aggressive or on some trying to, nah, really, I'm cool.
And it ain't always got to be on no retaliation shit. This is y'all prized possession. This is y'all come up. Y'all got to protect this with all y'all might. Why ain't nobody tell Von, hey Von, don't get out that car. Or Von, hey Von, don't come out that club. Oh, Vaughn, you ain't got to do that. I got you, bro. I got you. Oh, Vaughn, screw that nigga. Let's do us. See, and that's the problem when you ain't got no real ones in your corner. See, niggas always talking about real one this. I'm a real one that. Yeah, niggas can call in. They can call in or leave a comment. Niggas always talking about real one this. I'm a real one that. Okay. Where's your realness when it fucking matters? Where is it at when it matters? And it's always people that defend this fuckery, this tomfoolery. People support this type of stuff. Man, you can't really blame his team. Why not? Why not? Then why the fuck do I got a team? But that's the lesson that Vaughn had to learn. That's the lesson that Tupac had to learn. That's the lesson that Big had to learn. That's the unfortunate lesson that Nipsey had to learn. And now I'm hearing the cowboy dude, or whatever his name is, he done started up his own marathon thing. It's crazy.
Laid back. I ain't got a problem. Nobody else they got a problem. Yeah, the shit. I'm moving forward, like the view people have on me, like it's gonna be some that love me to death. It's gonna be some that hate me, you know. You gonna fuck with a nigga. So I'll keep it on.
I'm gonna rewind this back. Listen to what he's saying. We're gonna rewind this joint back a little bit, the way he said it. Look at what he's saying. And I'm willing to bet you, I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet you, this is just my personal opinion. It wasn't just the Jews and stuff that was sitting back. In the white, because you know the Jews are the ultimate people as far as the whites. I gotta watch what I say on here. It wasn't the white supremacists just sitting back saying, "Nah, we're gonna cut that shit short. We can't have this. We can't have him, taking over black businesses and getting his people out of poverty and all that shit. We can't have that." You see what I'm saying? It wasn't just them saying that. It was people in his own circle. It was people in his own circle saying, "Nah, this nigga ain't about to outshine us all. This nigga gonna start think he better than us. This nigga gonna start forgetting about us. He gonna start forgetting about the ones that helped him get there. When in reality, he helped himself get there. Y'all just followed. I ain't gonna say that. Well, some of them did. Some of them did fake it until they make it. But let's get it.
It's gonna be some that, gonna be an ass stop. You just gotta keep getting more money. As long as you got money, it ain't gonna be no problem. You see what I'm saying? I just gotta keep having money. So yeah, a lot of people about my past, they might, I already jumped to the conclusion I'm, gonna be an asshole or mean or over aggressive or on some trying to, but nah, really I'm cool, laid back. I ain't got a problem. Nobody else they got a problem. Yeah, the shit. I'm moving forward, like the view people have.
And this shit, yeah, Shadow. I'm in the process right now, bro. Just tune in. I'm gonna let people call in. I might do a follow-up video on this joint. Just allow people. I want this video to marinate, because I usually cover battle rap and shit like that. But this might be my new space, depending on how I get inspired. If I get inspired, then I talk about certain things. But I just found it strange. Not just about the patterns of dudes talking about better in their communities, black men, and then all of a sudden they end up dead, but just the people that they associate themselves with. Like y'all supposed to be my defense, my first line of defense. My first line of defense ain't even got shit to defend themselves with, or let alone defend me with. And then they retreating because they ain't got shit. People say what they were supposed to do, run in there and take a bullet? Something. Because apparently I'm the only one doing every fucking thing. What are y'all around for? Every day as human beings, if you don't have a woman, your homeboys, your cousins, whoever that you associate yourself or deal with, if they're not proving themselves every day, and it just seems like a more take situation, and nobody is contributing, it ain't even always got to be financial and material things. If they not playing their role and playing their part, then what the fuck are you around me for? What are you around me for? And in a nutshell, King Von was a come up. He was a come up for them dudes, man. He was a come up. And if you don't believe me, just look at everything for yourself. Look how everything played out. Look at now. Look now. He the one with the money. Certain things, man, you don't need, it don't require a fucking textbook. It don't require extensive research. Certain things are just right in your fucking face. Look at it now, people. Look at those dudes, man. He the one flashing money. He the one with the jewelry on. You got the other dude. He must be the next man, the right man to him, the light skinned dude, because he got the what's that OTF chain on. Rest of them dudes ain't really got no chain. The one with the head, but the rest of them ain't really got no chain. The dude right there. So those must be his first line of defense. The light skinned dude and the dude with the dreads right there with the striped blue and white shirt on. Rest of them is just there, enjoying the ride. But little did Von know that ride was gonna get cut short, you know. And rest in peace to him, man.
Vibe on me, like it's gonna be something that love me to death. It's gonna be something that hate me, you know. You gonna fuck with a nigga, shit. I'll keep it on and ain't on no fool shit. I ain't started rapping till I just got to jail for my murder. That's when I started rapping. Like what, 2018 or something? 1918. I wasn't rapping none my whole life. Ain't got nothing to do with rapping.
You made crazy story in my house.
And I want y'all to understand too, right? And look at Dirt. That's another one of them. I might do a separate one on him. But what you put out there in the atmosphere and what you do in the past will catch up with you eventually. You know, you can't be out here selling drugs to your community, vandalizing your community, causing bodily harm and shit to your own people, disrespecting your own people, and think you just gonna be able to ride off into the sunset. Shit don't work like that. You gonna get got. You're gonna get got regardless. Let's go.
Like he ain't out to write a song, none of that shit. So
Hold on. Advertisement coming. Advertisement coming. Hold on. That might be my new name. D Block. What? Let's skip this.
Things I probably need in the studio. One for sure, Tuka, man. He gotta be there. But then my homies gonna be, man, that's really at the mic, shit. I don't really need too much in the studio.
And when I was looking at the No Jumper podcast, he was a good dude, man. King Von was a good dude underneath the surface, man, underneath of the perception. And I tell people, man, it's very unfortunate, but people get what they ask for, man. You know, there's no other way around it. You know, you try to live off this persona and you push this certain type of message and this certain type of persona. It's gonna come a point in time, you know, later or sooner than you think, where you're gonna actually have to live in that persona permanently. You know, and that's all that happened to Shikashi 6ix9ine, and it's going on right now with him. And what happened to Von and what happened to MO3 is that you push this certain persona till it gets to the point where you actually gonna have to live that persona permanently. You know, so. But let's go ahead and finish playing this. But I want to get back to that clip when the dude was talking in that call on Red Supreme.
I would describe Von's music as...
Oh, but he seemed like a good dude. Von seemed like a good dude underneath all of that chaos and all of that bullshit that he created for himself. He seemed like he was really trying to help the people that was around him. He was trying to help his communities, man. He really wanted to better. All he talked about in the interviews that I watched was making sure his men was good, making sure his men was comfortable. But as we know, and I don't know his men like that, but as we know, sometimes it's never enough for certain people. Certain people got to be on your throne. They got to be where you at. You're probably thinking about, you know, I want all of us to be comfortable. I want all of us to be at the same level. But you got certain motherfuckers, certain individuals, it's like, nah, nigga, I want your spot. I want your spot. And you'll never know the real story. That's why it's very difficult when you associate yourself with a multitude of people. Because when you have the more people you have, the more of a problem or the more of a headache it becomes when you're trying to find out what is what and who did what and putting the pieces of the puzzle together. You know? But if you had the right mentality on who you associate yourself with, it wouldn't be no need to have to put the puzzle together or the Rubik's Cube together.
Authentic, real. I describe Vaughn music as like that 2012.
All right, so that part.
Like,
So that part. Let's go back. Let's go back to Red Supreme. But y'all get what I'm saying, right? Let me go back to Red Supreme stuff. We got to be mindful of these things, people. We have to be mindful of these things. If you're going to be in that life, and that's the problem, man, it's too many dudes out here that's claiming to be street dudes and ain't really street. His boys robbed him after the death. Yep. Boston 617 in the building. Yep. His boys robbed him as well, man. That just fits right on. Look at Boston came right in here and fit right into everything that I was just saying. First, I gave y'all a perspective of what the higher ups may have did allegedly and what his circle may have did allegedly. And he came right on in here and salute to you, brother. Salute to you. But let's go. Where is that joint at? All right, let's go my channel. Let's go back. All right. All right, let me go. Let me go back to. Yeah, salute to the people that's in the building, man. I felt the need to talk about this situation, man, because it's a lot of little funny things. And usually I don't even watch this type of stuff. You know, I look at my channels that talk about it, and I just look at the underneath the surface type stuff. All right, here we go. We back. All right. All right, here we go. Cool.
Tell you, but he was taking care of a lot of people in his hood. He was paying people rent. Hey, look, he took.
Or you start seeing things that you haven't had before. Not everybody has your best interest. In the entertainment world, in the regular world, the socializing world. And looking at that video, the guys knew this was going to happen. It was like a hit or miss, but it was actually a hit this time. And then they try to pin it on the officers to try to start some race war, current event, Black Lives Matter thing. That ain't come to fruition because now we know in the video, everybody knew something was going to happen. There's a video I'm going to send to you.
Okay.
That a woman predicted that he was not going to make it past his first or second album. I believe he was on his third album. Well, you can't count the mixtapes. They said that he's not going to make it past his first album.
Wow.
So she saw something that a lot of people thought she was crazy. And she's been well known to observe things. So you got people out here that observe things and see things for what it is. And you talked about being mindful of getting on certain platforms, dealing with certain energies. And so the energy he was around was a bunch of weak men. Even his catalog. It was all ended because he was about to do something in Chicago. From what I was told, he's from Old Block, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so he was going to do some things.
Basically, both parties got what they wanted. Both parties. What do I mean by both parties? Well, the Jews, you know, allegedly, that wanted to get him hit so that he wouldn't help the black communities. Because there's a lot of people that get out here and talk about black people doing a black-owned business and, you know, they're going to stop Section 8. They're going to stop this and they're going to stop that. And then they're going to kick black people out of the community. Don't listen to none of that BS. Because at the end of the day, our struggle is what keeps them on top. Our struggle is what keeps them on top. And on the black business thing, right? Think about it. If they wanted us to be on their level, we would be on their level. The reason why we're beneath them is because that is the whole point of us being in captivity. That's the whole point of them being superior, of continuing that superior status. So why in the hell would they assist us in getting on their level? That's absurd. That's BS. And anybody that says that BS is BS. You know? So let's continue.
And old block, buy off old block. Because if I'm not mistaken, old block, you could buy it off for about, I think, close to $1 million.
Whoa.
So he was
damn.
Let's run that back.
That was all
she was crazy. And she's been well known to observe things. So you got people out here that observe things and see things for what it is. And you talked about be mindful of getting on certain platforms, dealing with certain energies. And so the energy he was around was a bunch of weak men. Even his catalog, it was all in it because he was about to do something in Chicago. From what I was told, he's from Old Block, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was going to do some things in Old Block, buy off Old Block. Because if I'm not mistaken, Old Block, you could buy it off for about, I think, close to $1 million.
Whoa.
So he was going to,
damn. That was all they wanted? That's all they wanted? Oh, but you know what? I'm going to let you continue, but he was taking care of a lot of people in his hood. He was paying people rent. Hey, look. He took, you know how many single mothers rent he paid and energy bill? This nigga literally went back to the hood and took all of the single mothers and helped pay their rent and gave their kids money. So I believe that he was trying to make some type of change. But go ahead though, brother.
Yeah, he paid a lot of women.
And that's what I was just saying. If they legit really wanted, and this is all bullshit, and when we hear about, oh, you could be anything that you want to be, how? How? When every time we try to be anything we want to be, we always get knocked off. I'm receiving calls and stuff now, but we always get knocked off out of nowhere. But we're allowed to go on social media and make a complete mockery out of our own people. We're able to go on social media and be a straight minstrel show and make us look real bad. Make black people look real bad. We're able to go on social media and take videos of somebody getting beaten up. We're able to do all of this stuff. Nothing gets blocked. Nobody receive any consequences for it. But the moment we start trying to help each other, that's when they have a problem with it. But we're able to be whatever we want to be. We're able to start up a black-owned business. Bullshit. Black people don't take care of their own. How the fuck is we gonna have a black-owned?
Right, and pay off a lot of men that needed the help for like a good 3 to 4 years. They don't have to pay rent.
Right.
And so now, do you know that he did a clip on LeBron James? Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Okay, so he did a video called Vaughn. What do you call him? Vaughn, right? What they call LeBron James. It's funny, I said LeBron James on one of my videos a couple of days ago, not realizing about this brother until a day ago. So it's kind of interesting that the name
on the No Jumper podcast, I'm gonna go to that right real quick. On the No Jumper podcast, he mentioned something. I was actually watching that this morning while I was in my ride going somewhere to take care of some business. I actually heard him mention something about the LeBron James. Let me go to it. King. No. See if I can find a jumper. Was it? I'm trying to figure out which one it was. Which one was I watching earlier? right, it was a good scene.
The guys that's running around in the cars, the money and shit. Like he started it up for me and everything. Like how people get to notice.
That's
packed your
hilarious. Holy fuck.
Nah.
But so your shit, your court shit, like you were locked down on how even when you're on tour, you can't really be around each other too much.
Nah, we can't. Nah, hell nah.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that shit ugly.
Is that strange? Like just to have the court basically just saying you can't be cool with one of your best.
Yeah.
All right, so let me try to find this thing. Trying to find this daggone video I watched. History. Salute to the people, man. Scroll on down. Because I was just, it was this one. The FGB Duck thing.
You know how the fuck Kobe died?
Yeah. Yeah. My girl told me Kobe died, and I said, because of just sort of like making your block famous, how much of a important thing is that to you? Because I feel like nowadays it's like you've just like emphasized, like it must be really cool to be from certain blocks of Chicago because you're making them so famous.
Right. No, it ain't really about being. It really ain't about being famous at all. Like that shit, we've been famous for since we were shorties. Like not probably the good fame, but we've been famous for a minute. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't. I'm really trying to get all my homies some money. I need everybody to be comfortable. I need everybody to be able to take care of their people.
You heard that? Again, it's the second time we heard it, and he did it in a couple of interviews. Let me run it back so y'all can hear it. I'm trying to make sure everybody comfortable. I'm trying to make sure my homies good. You know, they don't want this. You got to understand the powers that be don't want this, people. They don't want that. And to be honest with you, a lot of dudes that associate themselves with you and females don't want it neither. If they not at the top, you know, that's what happened. If I ain't at the top, I don't want it. I don't want it for you. I want that for me. And they'll be around you. They'll hang around you. They'll say, bro this, bro that, and be up in your face. But the whole time they want to take your motherfucking place. Let's go back.
Yeah. So it ain't. I'm really trying to get all my homies some money. I need everybody to be comfortable. I need everybody to be able to take care of their people. I need everybody to be. So it ain't about we've been famous. That famous shit don't mean nothing to nobody. Like it probably means something to a lot of people. But if it ain't making money, like what if you famous?
Well, the thing is, King Von, the fame shit don't mean nothing to you, and I truly believe it don't. But it does to a lot of, and particularly a lot of people that's associated with you, a lot of people that's around you. It does mean a lot to them. You know, you can't. One thing we cannot continue to do is speak for other people because we literally don't know. We're not living in their bodies. We don't know. Only thing we can really pretty much talk about. That's why when I always do videos, I always make an emphasis on I don't know these people, but this is how I feel personally. This is my opinion personally. You don't know how dudes feel. We got to stop speaking for people. You got to stop doing it. You can only speak on from your own experience, your personal experiences and your own personal feelings.
There ain't no money coming about it. Like that shit in a way.
But how much does it matter to you that the kids from your neighborhood are proud of what you're accomplishing and what you're putting out there? Because I'm sure that there's just like your music speaks so much about your exact area that it's like they have to probably be proud of where they're from.
Right, yeah. The kids love the kids love me. So yeah. Every time I go out there, go to the block and shit, the kids, they love a nigga and shit. So that mean a lot though. Yeah. You know, they do the right thing, man. Go up. Do the right thing, shit.
And that should give you every reason to want to change yourself, which I truly believe he was trying to do. But sometimes you can't run from your past, people. You know?
Don't get in trouble. Don't get caught. Get the fuck on. Do something good.
Don't get in trouble. Don't get caught.
Some.
They're both good pieces of advice.
Some.
Yeah. A lot of people do all kinds of bad shit their whole life and they just don't get caught.
Yeah, it's great advice. But the only problem is who it's coming from at that moment. Again, there's no doubt in my mind that King Von was planning on changing. Like you could hear it, you could see it, you could feel it. But at that moment, that was the problem, who it was coming from. This is why we got to set a better example. But how would you set a better example for the youngins when you weren't set a good example?
I'm
you trying to be one of them?
I'm straight. I ain't trying to do nothing. Nothing.
Definitely. So I know that you kind of say that like a lot of the stories you tell are hypothetical and stuff, but do you ever get, is there any level of like worry that you might actually be like talking so much shit about 63rd that like one of the kids from that neighborhood is just gonna just go crazy and just decide that like, King Von's his enemy and he got to do something about it?
What are they gonna do?
I don't know.
Like, nah, they can't, man. You know how that shit go, man. Like, I'm trying to see where you going. Like, do something like what? Would make a song or go to the authorities or what you talking about? Like,
Okay,
what the fuck you gonna do?
To put in perspective, it's like we drop all these bombs on, Afghanistan and shit, and then eventually they grow up and they're mad as fuck, so they join terrorist organizations, and then they come over here and blow our shit up.
All right. Nah, they been mad. Everybody, like, I've been into it.
Hey, it's funny he's saying that, right? Because that's my personal view of what happened. But it damn sure wasn't no little kids, in my opinion. It wasn't no little kids. I feel like motherfuckers got jealous around them and, worked it together with the powers that be and said, you know what, it'd be in all our best interest to get this boy up out of here because he's talking about doing good in the communities. And then these brothers around him, they got to watch him every day shine and he looking good and shit like that. He getting all the women, I believe, this is my opinion, I believe it was a team effort, just like it was with Nip. No doubt in my mind, allegedly. Let's go.
When people been not liking me, so it's like, it's the same shit. I just gotta move how I move and just gotta shit, be ready, don't get ready. Shit, you better pray it up, whatever it is, what it is, man. At the end of the day,
and also too, King Von problem was, and I'm seeing it, and this is just my perspective, my opinion. It's a tough thing when a man ain't got no direction. A man that think he has everything figured out, but he really has no real concrete direction on which way he want to go. He just going along with the flow. When you go on, people say idle time is the devil's playground, is the devil's workshop. Also, not having any direction. You just going on with the flow. All kind of things can happen to you, and it did to him. Let's go.
But I ain't going like that for sure. I ain't going like that. So
it's just
whatever
crazy.
Motherfucker think.
It's like you've actually turned your ops into a meme because all those comments are like, "Oh, 63rd," and it's like none of them know where the fuck this is at or who's there or whatever. But they're like in on the joke, and it's kind of.
And like I was telling my homeboy, unless you're a sniper or a personal hitman or somebody like that, you're being taught how to be precise. What do I mean by that? This was no doubt a hit, an organized hit. A dude that we seen the camera, we seen the footage. The dude that allegedly hit King Von, right? He was not a sniper. He was not a hitman. He looked like a hitman, but he wasn't a real hitman, which means that hit was organized. And then he was precise, though. He was precise like a hitman, but you could tell he wasn't a hitman. Because a real hitman, wouldn't have got caught on film. A real sniper, you wouldn't even know who did it. They'd have been gone. Camera wouldn't have caught it. So it was an organized hit, just like we seen with Nipsey. It's an organized hit by somebody that was unorganized, but he was organized enough to get the job done.
So that's a different thing.
Yeah, they just gotta be cool, sit back. It's about me. And sissy, they're not. You know what I'm saying?
You're not trying to like gather an army together.
Y'all just sit back and take this shit. They doing this for me, so don't think y'all. Yeah.
And my grandmother had a saying, and it goes, every close eye ain't shut and every goodbye ain't gone, man. Saying that to say this, man. In all of these interviews that he was doing, even though he couldn't see it, it's always somebody watching you, man. Always. Be mindful of that, people. It's always somebody watching you, whether they want to see you succeed, watch you succeed, or they want to end up setting you up and be the reason for your failures. It's always somebody that's watching you, people. It is no doubt in my mind, it was people watch, whether it's his homeboys or whether it was his ops, whether it was somebody that he didn't even know. Somebody was watching them, whether it's the feds, they watching you. and they don't want you to have what you aspire to have, especially if you're black. So whether it's a female, let's not forget Lord, let's not forget that. Let's continue.
They just the fans, they love me. Shit, they fuck with a nigga. They gonna rock how nigga rocking. And whoever ain't gonna rock how rock, fuck them. And they gonna 60-30 no shit. So whatever.
So again, like you say, a lot of the stories are hypothetical, but in this one took it to the O, you actually mentioned that a specific rapper from Chicago called a girl 6 times while you were hanging out with her.
Right. It just ran. You see what I'm saying? The shit just be going, man, you know. Shit, that ain't nothing. Shit just ran. It's just that shit sound raw. That shit sound raw, don't it? So I put that shit like how you know.
I had to
like
double
it's
check.
like it's hypothetical. It's like everything.
I
just
had to
be,
rewind it like 10 seconds. I'm like, wait, did he just really say that?
Yeah, it's just raw, man. That shit come in my head, and in the own second, I just put the shit down.
Right.
It just came up like it rhymed, and it sounded. What? That shit sound decent.
Did you hear his response though? I'm from 63rd. FBG Duck just put that out like a week ago.
I think I went to it, but I couldn't. You try to listen to something, you like, man, wasting my motherfucker.
I mean, just in case you didn't notice, he does have one line that says, "How you tote your gun when your pants tight as hell."
Hold on, I want to fast forward.
It told no good. I got my house arrest, all type of shit. Gang.
I mean, he kind of like had this bitch from Minnesota, and he just sort of like starts mentioning there's basically that like anybody can make up any song and rap that song. That
it's just music, and I'm doing this shit to get money and shit. Like in real life, people know what real life is, and people know what happened in real life and what goes on in real life. But in this music shit, it's just really about, Now,
I initially came to this video to hear the part he said about LeBron. I might have been long past that, but let's continue to see if we catch it.
Going up and just I need that shit to go up. I need that shit to.
I told you now we had to use the bathroom.
Nah, that's just what the music is like. Right. The real life shit, it ain't got nothing to do with the music. Like, I'm not slow. I'm not gonna.
right.
Real life shit. People on that shit. That shit.
But I mean, that is the interesting thing is that it's like, you're a smart guy. You could think of some crazy shit that, hey, whatever. Is like there's a little bit of temptation to just make your shit wild as hell because you know that a lot of the fans don't necessarily know.
That shit gonna figure itself out in real life. You see what I'm saying? It's real. The music, y'all just stick to the entertainment,
Is your money getting all fucked up in your opinion?
All right, let me go back.
When I see that shit, I'm like, nah, hell no.
Yeah, my girl told me Kobe died, and I said, I'm like, you can't just read important things that to you because I feel like nowadays it's
a lot of people. If it ain't making money, like what if you famous?
Well, I wanted to go to the LeBron James part, but I don't see it. But let's go back to Red Supreme. All right.
Names are kind of similar. They mentioning that he had to lock.
They wanted. That's all they wanted. Oh, but you know what? I'm gonna let you continue. But he was taking care of a lot of people in his hood. He was paying people rent. Hey, look. He took, you know how many single mothers rent he paid and energy bill? This nigga literally went back to the hood and took all of the single mothers and helped pay their rent and gave their kids money. So I believe that he was trying to make some type of change. But go ahead though, brother.
Yeah, he paid a lot of women's rent and pay off a lot of men that needed the help for like a good 3 to 4 years. They don't have to pay rent.
Right.
And so now, do you know that he did a clip on LeBron James? Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Okay, so he did a video called Bond. What he called Bond, right? What they call LeBron James. It's funny, I said LeBron James on one of my videos a couple of days ago, not realizing about this brother until a day ago. So it's kind of interesting that the names are kind of similar. They mentioning that he has a lot to do with it. He's aware because think about it. LeBron knew of him and then did a tweet about him. I believe yesterday or the day before.
Oh, okay.
And there's speculation of the connection. And so this man was about to definitely change Old Block into